Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United face a huge challenge to finish in the top 4 under Ralf Rangnick. Now Manchester United are 8 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal are 4th at the moment. Manchester United do have 3 games in hand over Arsenal, and Manchester United have got 2 games in hand over West Ham. Manchester United are sitting 7th in the Premier League at the moment. Manchester United need to get Champions League football for next season, because Rangnick has been warned he could lose the consultancy role if he fails to get Manchester United into the Champions League. Ralf Rangnick has enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Manchester United. So far, he's unbeaten. And reflecting on the win against Norwich on the 11th of December, that was back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Ralf Rangnick. So Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season, and it did mention that he will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Rangnick has been given £75 million to spend in January. There's a lot of players that Manchester United want. Now, the Manchester Evening News have said today that Manchester United plan Ruben Neves swoop. Chelsea are also in for him, so Man United have to battle Chelsea for his services. Ruben Neves could be the first signing of the Ralf Rangnick era. Ruben Neves is at Wolves. He's been at Wolves for around 5 years. Wolves got Neves from Porto back in 2017. Wolves paid around 15.8 million. He's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. He's made around 167 appearances in the Premier League for Wolves and he's scored 18 goals. He is a midfielder. He's only the age of 24. Amadou Haidara has also been linked with Manchester United. Earlier on this season, Rangnick did say that he wants Amadou Haidara as his first signing as Manchester United manager. Rangnick knows the player well because Rangnick used to manage RB Leipzig. Amadou Haidara has a £33 million release clause. Haidara has already admitted that he's a Manchester United fan and a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. He's got a contract with Leipzig until 2025. Bubakar Kamar has also been linked with Manchester United. His contract talks with Marseille have stalled. His current contract at Marseille expires at the end of the season. Was it last week? It said Manchester United agreed terms on a £10 million deal with Bubakar Kamara, and it did mention that Bubakar Kamara was set to become the first signing of the Ralf Rangnick era. Bubakar Kamara is predominantly a defensive midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. He's only the age of 22, so still young, got a lot of development in him. Bubakar Kamara has been at Marseille all his life. He joined Marseille as a 5-year-old back in 2005. Reason up their academy, He broke into Marseille's senior squad back in 2016 and he's gone to make over 100 appearances. Manchester United have also been linked with Julian Alvarez. Yesterday it said Man United were in advanced talks to sign Julian Alvarez from River Plate. Julian Alvarez has a £17 million release clause that is set to become active. His current contract at River Plate expires next year. He's been a very long-serving player at River Plate. Ralf Rangnick wants Erling Haaland. Revert back to the other week. Ralf Rangnick spoke with Erling Haaland's father, Alf-Inge Haaland, of the possibility of his son making a move to Manchester United next year. Manchester United are ready to pay Erling Haaland's release clause. Erling Haaland has a release clause of around 65 million pounds. But his release clause doesn't become active until the end of the season. Apparently, the Premier League isn't the right league for Erling Haaland. Bild said the other week, though, that Man United are currently only the serious bidder for Haaland. Erling Haaland's been an absolute revelation for Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund got Erling Haaland back in 2020 from Red Bull Salzburg. Dortmund paid around 17.1 million. He's got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2024. At one point, Erling Haaland played at Molde. He played under Solskjaer, and Manchester United tried to get Haaland under Solskjaer. Haaland is regarded as one of the best strikers in the world. And in recent weeks, Manchester United have been linked with Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea and Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Manchester United are expected to endure a quiet January transfer window, because Romano's already mentioned that Man United's main focus on new signings is the summer, not January. The Athletic said last week that Rangnick has identified a tall midfielder as a top priority for Manchester United to replace Matic. Rangnick admires Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice. But Rangnick in January is going to focus more on the outgoings than the incomings. Now obviously you know the news on Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial wants to leave Manchester United, Ralf Rangnick confirms. Last Wednesday, Martial held talks with Ralf Rangnick over his future. Earlier on this month, Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United in January. He said not so long ago that Sevilla want Anthony Martial on loan. It said Sevilla have reached an agreement in principle to sign Martial, but it did mention that Martial's wages are the stumbling block for Sevilla. Martial receives around £240,000 a week at Man United. The other week it said Man United set a 30 million asking price on Martial. Martial is demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Manchester United. Martial's not good enough to represent the club now. I thought last season he was pretty good, but the best season he endured was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Manchester United paid an initial fee of £36 million for Martial from Monaco back in 2015. Martial has been a Manchester United player for 7 years. He's got 2.5 years left on his contract. Martial has scored 79 goals in 268 games in all competitions. Edinson Cavani, he'll leave Manchester United next year. If he doesn't leave in January, he will leave in the summer. He said the other week that Cavani has agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Barcelona has seen Cavani as a replacement for Aguero because not so long ago Aguero retired due to heart problems. But Cavani could be staying till the summer because Man United are reluctant to let Cavani leave on a free transfer next month. Cavani's contract expires in the summer. Juventus have also been in for Cavani, and Cavani's rejected a move to Boca Juniors. By the way, Cavani's now back from injury. He's in the squad for tonight's game against Newcastle. Do you think Cavani will start? Cavani initially lost his place in the team with the club re-signing Ronaldo last summer. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. And he's got a good pedigree behind him because look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG, Cavani, and he was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. Juan Mata, I think he's leaving the club next year. Juan Mata's contract at Man United expires in the summer. Because earlier on in the year, Juan Mata extended his contract for a further year. I can't understand why Man United extended his contract for a further year because Juan Mata doesn't really get in the team. Plus he's ageing up and he's lost that yard of pace. But despite all of that, Mata has had a good career at Man United. You know, Mata's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals. Mata's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Manchester United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014 for 40 million. Not so long ago, Mata had illness. Man United, I think, will be loaning Amad Diallo out next year. Amad Diallo's played nowhere near as much in the first team as I expected. He's made a few first team appearances. You know, let's put into the equation what Man United paid for him. You know, Man United got Amad Diallo for around £37 million with add-ons included. Man United paid £19 million up front. Manchester United got him from Atalanta. Jesse Lingard, he will leave in the summer because last week it said Jesse Lingard will be staying at Manchester United in January to fight for his place under Ralf Rangnick. When Manchester United had Solskjaer, Jesse Lingard wanted to leave. Not so long ago, Man United set a £20 million asking price on Lingard for him to leave in January. Newcastle are no longer in for him. I think West Ham have been interested in re-signing him. Well, at the second half of last season, Lingard endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham. And earlier on in the season, he did mention that Lingard wanted to go abroad. Lingard doesn't really get in our team, but he has been part of Manchester United for a long time. He risen up our academy. You know, he's had his good periods, he's had his bad periods at Man United. Lingard's contract expires in the summer. If Donny van der Beek leaves next year, he will leave in the summer, because Donny van der Beek is not allowed to leave Manchester United in January, as Van der Beek is valued by Ralf Rangnick. I'd just like to see Donny van der Beek get more starts at Manchester United. Revert back to when Man United had Solskjaer, Van der Beek was very frustrated because Van der Beek didn't get enough opportunities under Solskjaer, and towards the end of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, Van der Beek confirmed that he will leave Manchester United in January. Van der Beek has only scored 2 goals for the club, and he's been a Manchester United player for over a year and a half now, and this season's his second full season at Man United. Manchester United got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Matic, I think he's leaving Manchester United next year. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities, and I think Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder that Man United have got. I've always had my reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder when he's aging up, but despite that, Matic has had his good games at Man United. Matic was out with a cold not so long ago. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Pogba, if he leaves next year, he'll leave in the summer, because it said the other day that Man United are not negotiating a Paul Pogba transfer next month. He said Manchester United expect Paul Pogba to stay in January, despite Pogba nearing the end of his contract. Pogba's contract expires in the summer. Revert back to the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. Pogba's very close to returning from that muscle injury, which is good news from a Man United perspective because he's been a big miss. Pogba got the muscle injury in France training earlier on in the season. Revert back towards the start of the season, Pogba was in scintillating form. He's got 7 assists so far in the league this season. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while. He's had a long-running transfer saga, Pogba. He's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid. His former club Juventus have been in for him. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. PSG have been in for him, Barcelona have been in for him, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Manchester United paid 89 million for Pogba, so he's the most expensive signing at the moment. This season's his 6th season at Man United since he rejoined, and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly will leave Manchester United next year. Tellez could also leave next year. Obviously, Tellez has played a lot of football in recent weeks and that. Obviously, because Luke Shaw did have that concussion, Luke Shaw missed 4 games in a row in all competitions because of that concussion. Tellez has been very impressive, and I did mention that he is undroppable at the moment. The reason Manchester United brought Tellez in was to provide competition for Shaw. Earlier on this season, Tellez had an injury. Man United got him for around 15.4 million from Porto last year. Dean Henderson will leave next month because last week Fabrizio Romano said that Dean Henderson wants to leave Manchester United in January to get more game time. Henderson doesn't really get in goal because last summer De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. Henderson has only made 2 appearances this season. You know, he was in goals for the games against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, and he was in goal for the game against Young Boys. That was the 1-1 draw. Earlier on this season, though, Henderson had COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season, though, he did get the number 1 jersey, and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. So there you go. In the summer, Manchester United will appoint a permanent manager. There's been quite a few names linked with a permanent role at Man United. Obviously, earlier on in the season, Ruben Amorim was mentioned. It said Man United and Leeds were in for him. It said Ruben Amorim has a £25 million release clause. He's the manager of Sporting Lisbon. He's been Sporting Lisbon manager for almost 2 years. He's under contract with Sporting Lisbon till 2023. He's won some trophies with Sporting Lisbon. Before Sporting Lisbon, Amorim managed Braga, and before then he managed Casapia. He's a very young coach, is Ruben Amorim. He's only the age of 36, and don't forget, Amorim has advised Manchester United to hire Erik ten Hag. Yes, Ten Hag's been persistently linked with a permanent role at Man United. Earlier on this season, it said he was the favourite to become Man United's next permanent manager. You've got to give him credit for what he's done at Ajax. You know, he's won some trophies with them, and I like the way he develops young players. And a few weeks ago now, Van der Sar spoke about Manchester United's interest in Erik ten Hag. A few weeks ago, Roberto Mancini was linked with a permanent role at Man United. But obviously Roberto Mancini denied becoming Man United's next permanent manager. Earlier on this season, Brendan Rodgers was also mentioned. I disregarded Brendan Rodgers because earlier on this season, Brendan Rodgers dismissed links to the Man United job. You know, he'd come out and said that I'm proud to be at Leicester, but at one point it did say that Rodgers was house hunting in Cheshire, and that stirred some suggestions up. And Mauricio Pochettino has been persistently linked with a permanent role at Man United. Earlier on this season, Pochettino come out and said a few times that he's happy at PSG and he wouldn't let the Man United rumours distract him. Manchester United actually made an approach for Pochettino earlier on this season, but PSG rejected our approach. But reports were circulating out saying that Pochettino's interested in the Man United job, and Man United agreed to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Manchester United should have got Pochettino then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. He's a good manager, Pochettino, even though he's hardly won anything. I think he has won a French Cup at PSG. He's got a full season left on his PSG contract. He's proven in the Premier League as well, because before he managed Tottenham. Don't forget, when he was at Tottenham, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final back in 2018. He almost won the league as well at Tottenham at one point. He endured 5.5 years at Tottenham. Tottenham made a massive mistake sacking Pochettino. And before he managed Southampton, he only endured a short tenure at Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So there you go. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, Manchester United sacked Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and a month ago Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. By the way, it said the other day that Old Trafford is set for a revamp. You know, Man United are going to increase the capacity to around 80,000 fans. I think it mentioned that other parts of the ground and that are going to be upgraded. As you all know, last week Manchester United confirmed the appointment of Ewan Sharp as an assistant coach and analyst. Manchester United got Ewan Sharp from Lokomotiv Moscow. Before, Ewan Sharp worked at Toronto FC. He also worked at New York Red Bulls. Obviously, Ewan Sharp has worked with Ralf Rangnick before, and he's worked with Chris Armas twice before. So that's beneficial. Ewan Sharp was Rangnick's third addition, because earlier on in the season Rangnick recommended Chris Armas in as an assistant, and he also recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Tonight, Manchester United play Newcastle at St James's Park. It's a must-win game for Manchester United. Manchester United are looking to make it 4 wins in a row in the Premier League. You know, Manchester United have had the last 2 games postponed because of positive COVID tests. You know, Man United's games against Brentford and Brighton got postponed. A lot of other games have been postponed as well because of COVID. The last game Manchester United played was Norwich on the 11th of December. Manchester United won that game 1-0 thanks to a winning goal from Cristiano Ronaldo from the penalty spot. For tonight's game, Edison Cavani and Rafael Varane are in the squad, which is good news from a Man United perspective. I am expecting Manchester United to beat Newcastle though, because Newcastle are a very, very poor team. I think Newcastle will get relegated this season. Newcastle are coming into this game on the back of a 4-0 defeat to Man City. Newcastle's manager is Eddie Howe. Newcastle appointed him in earlier on in the season to replace Steve Bruce. Eddie Howe signed a 2.5-year contract with Newcastle when he got appointed in. I'm very, very sceptical that he'll see out that contract. Before, Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth, didn't he? And he was at Bournemouth for a long time, and at one point he had a spell with Burnley. Earlier on this season, Newcastle sacked Steve Bruce. Before then, they had Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez resigned from Newcastle because he didn't get enough backing. And a lot of Newcastle fans were disappointed when Rafa Benitez resigned, because actually Newcastle were quite consistent under him. Newcastle have got some decent players though in the team, to be honest with you. You know, they have got Callum Wilson, that's good. You know, Callum Wilson's a former Bournemouth player. They've got Ryan Fraser, that's good. You know, he's a former Bournemouth player. They've got Alain Saint-Maximin, that's a very, very good winger. He's probably the best player Newcastle have got. You know, Maximin come back from injury not so long ago. They've also got Dwight Gale, that's not bad. They've got Joe Linton as well. They've got Elliot Anderson, Jacob Murphy. They've got Sean Longstaff, that's a pretty good midfielder. Sean Longstaff is brothers with Matty Longstaff. Matty Longstaff is not at Newcastle at the moment. He's out on loan with Aberdeen. Newcastle have also got Shelvey, that's pretty good. He's definitely a key player for Newcastle. Is Shelvey injured? Because I heard that he picked up an injury not so long ago. Shelvey is a former Liverpool and Swansea player. Newcastle have also got Isaac Hayden as well. He's missing for tonight's game because he's suspended. And Isaac Hayden is a key player for Newcastle. Newcastle have also got Jamal Lascelles, that's quite good. They've also got Almiron, that's pretty good. They've got Matt Ritchie, they've got Joseph Willock, they've got Kieran Clark, they've got Jamal Lewis, they got Jamal Lewis from Norwich. Jamal Lewis was out with injury, wasn't he, not so long ago. They've got Federico Fernandez, he's been out injured as well. They've got Paul Dummett, he's been out with injury. Is he still injured now? They've got Manquillo, he was out with illness not so long ago. So there you go, there are quite a few of the players Newcastle have got. The goalkeepers have got Carl Darlow, and they've also got Dubravka. Do they have another goalkeeper as well? So yeah, and revert back to October, Newcastle had that £300 million takeover by the Saudi Arabians. So reflecting on that, Newcastle are planning to invest heavily next year. But the problem is Newcastle are going to find it extremely difficult to convince good players to join them with the current position Newcastle are in. You know, before the Saudi Arabians, Newcastle had Mike Ashley. And Mike Ashley totally ruined Newcastle. You know, Ashley was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years. You know, Mike Ashley got heavily criticised. Man United have got a very good record against Newcastle. You know, Man United won this fixture last season 4-1, and Man United won the game at Old Trafford against Newcastle earlier on this season 4-1. That was Ronaldo's first game since he re-signed, and Ronaldo scored twice on his second debut. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.